Okay, so this is the video for topic 3, transformations review, that many of you have requested. So here we go. First question is, perform the series of transformations on triangle ABC. First transformation will produce triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. The second will produce triangle A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. The first thing I'm going to do is just write out what my coordinates are for each image. So A is -3, 4, -3, 4. B is -4, 2. And C is -1, 2. Now, it says that reflect across the y equals -1. So y equals -1 is going to go just like this. When you're reflecting across a horizontal line, then your x's stay the same, your y's change. So for that, I know that A prime is going to be -3, and then my y will change. How many units from A to the line of reflection are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My line of reflection is -1, so I'm going to have -1. I'm flipping it or reflecting it across that y equals -1. So that means I'm going to go farther down on the y. So 1 minus 5 is going to give me -6. So now I'm going to do the same thing for B prime. I have -4 as my x. 1, 2, 3. So -1 minus 3 is -4. So I'll have -4, -4. And then C, 1, 2, 3 again. So it's just going to be -1, -4. Now it says to translate it to the right 5 and down 1. So I'm going to have -3 plus 5, -6 minus 1. -3 plus 5 is 2. And then -6 minus 1 is -7. -4 plus 5, and then -4 minus 1. -4 plus 5 is 1. -4 minus 1 is -5. And then -1 plus 5 and -4 minus 1. -1 plus 5 is 4. And then -4 minus 1 is -5. So that would be your answer there. It does not ask you to graph it, so you don't have to worry about graphing this transformation. The next one says graph the vertices of triangle L and N. Gives you the vertices. And then it says graph triangle L prime, N prime, N prime, and then triangle L double prime, M double prime, N double prime after composition of the transformation in their listed order. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is graph this pre-image. So I'm going to go 5, 5, and that is L. Then I'm going to go 1, 3, that is M, and then N is 2, 1. So there's my first pre-image. Now I'm going to rotate it across the origin at 270 degrees. Well, that rule says y -x. So then this is going to be 5, -5, 3, -1, and 1, -2. So 5, -5, that is L prime. 3, -1 is M prime. And then 1, -2 is N prime. Then we are going to translate it to the left 2 and up 1. So 5 minus 2 is 3. -5 plus 1 is -4. 3 minus 2 is 1. -1 plus 1 is 0. 1 minus 2 is -1. -2 plus 1 is -1. So then I have 3, -4, and that is prime M. Ooh, I said M. It should be L. There we go. I'll do that again. 3, -4 is L double prime. 1, 0 is M double prime, and -1, -1 is N double prime. So the purple triangle is your final image. Okay. Number 3 says which type of transformation maps triangle PQR to triangle P prime Q prime R prime. So I can easily see that this is 2 units from X and this is also 2 units from X. So the reflection over the X-axis. Now number 4 says perform the following transformation. Translate triangle ABC XY to 2 spaces or 2 units to the right, 3 units down, and then reflect over the Y-axis. You can do these transformations, but you will see that if you do them, that DEF is the composition, the transformation compositions. So I need to select all that is true. AB is congruent to DE. That is true. AB and DF are not congruent. Measure of angle A, measure angle F. That's congruent. And then triangle ABC and triangle DEF. Now, number 5 says, what are the coordinates of P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime after PQRS is rotating 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees counterclockwise? So, first thing I need to do is determine what my pre-image points are. So, P is -4, 3. Q is -6, 3. R is -8, 6. And S is -5, 8. So the 90-degree rotation is -YX. So then I'm just going to have -3, possibly, if I can have -3, -4. Q prime, I'm going to have -3, -6. R prime, -6, -8, and S prime is going to be -8, -5. Now, 180 degrees rotation is just -X, -Y, or opposite X, opposite Y. So -4, 3. The X is already in negative, so it's just the opposite. So I have 4, -3. Q prime would be 6, -3. R prime would be 8, -6. And S prime would be 5, -8. And then 270-degree rotation is Y, -X. So then I would have 3, 4, 3, 6, 6, 8, and 8, 5. Number 6 says, reflect the polygon cross X equals 4. So I'm going to go to X equals 4, and I'm going to draw my line of reflection. Now, I'm going to say A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units from the line of reflection. So I have to go 6 units to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be 10. My Y stays the same, so it's 1. B prime is 2, so I go 2 here. So that would be 6, 1. C is 2 and 2, so 6, 2. And then D is 3, so that would be 7, 2. And there here would be your image here. Number 7 says, what are the coordinates of the pre-image of the point on the image is 2, -9, after translation of x plus 4, y minus 3. Well, we have the image, we want to know the pre-image, so I have to do the opposite. So I'm going to take x, which is 2, and instead of plus 4, I'm going to subtract 4. And then y instead, y is -9. Instead of -3, I'm going to plus 3. So my pre-image would be -2, -6. Now this says triangle P prime, Q prime, R prime is the image of triangle PQR after translation. I already know it's a translation. So it's this triangle here to this triangle here. So P goes over how many? Goes 1 to the right. So it'd be x plus 1. And then it goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'd be y minus 7. And then finally it says what translation or what transformation was applied to a map to map the pre-image triangle FGH to the image F prime, G prime, H prime. Complete the rule of transformation that was applied to the pre-image and make sure to use proper notation. So here's the deal. I'm going to look at H. H, that point is -3, 1. H prime is -1, -3. So if I'm looking at this, I know this is going to be my x, y. So if I see how I rearranged it or how I maneuvered it, it would be -y, x, which tells us it's a 90-degree rotation. So the rule is just -y, x. Hope this helps.